Shri George Varghese, President, Federation of Kerala, Association in North America, Shri Gopinath Muthukan, Patron Fokana Convention, Shri Paul Karukapilli, International Coordinator, Shri Thomas, Vice President Fokana, Shri Sajiman Antony, General Secretary Fokana, Shri Philippos Philip, Board Chairman, Priyapeta Pirvasi, Suhitukkale, Magic Plenitil Kotukkare, Ellavarkum Ante Namaskaram. American Malayali Sangathan Kalude Federation, Aya Fokana Yude, Kerala Convention Udghatanam, Cheyan Atiyaya Santosham Und. America Yulam, Canada Yulam, Ulla Malayali Suhitukkalak, Kerala Tinde, Chemat Tilum, Vikasanat Tilum, Ulla Tal Pariyam, Abhinandanam, Arhi Kyunnu. E Varshate Convention, Magic Planetile Kuttukalka, Opam Nadatan Ulla Thirumanam, Entu Kondum, Uchitam Ai, Iva Ditte Amma Mark, Fokan, Nalkun, Pintun Naika, Ende Pitiyeka Abhinandanam. I must express some sense of disappointment with myself that even after 2.5 years, I am not able to speak Malayalam fluently. And I'm really, because there are so many things which keep me busy that I have not been able to pay the kind of attention which is required to master a language. But when I was thinking about it, a couplet of Persian came to my mind, which says, Pas zubane mehrami digarast, zubane hamdili, az zuban hamdili, az ham zubani behtarast. Which means, let me explain what it means. It means that the language of understanding, the language of goodwill, the language where you don't have to use words to show your affection and love. It's something very different. And you have that kind of, if you learn that language of understanding and harmony, then it is much better than speaking the same language. Sometimes we are not able to speak the same language, but sharing that human sentiments, that delicate feelings, sense of intimacy, that is much more important. I am not saying formally, I am delighted to be here at the Magic Planet to inaugurate the Convention of Federation of Kerala Association in North America. And I must thank you not only for the invitation which you extended me today, but I think last year you had invited me, and I had participated in your meeting online. So thank you very much. I am informed that Fokana, which has a history of nearly 40 years, has been the promoting the culture of Kerala in USA and Canada and championing the cause of nearly 700,000 non-resident Indians of Kerala origin. As the umbrella body for over 70 Kerala associations in North America and Canada, Fokana was fortunate to have Shri K.R. Narayanan, our former President of India, to chair its first ever meeting while he was India's ambassador to US. The Kerala Convention of Fokana, held once in 2 years, is usually marked by programs that reflect Pravasi's love for their home state, for their country, and deep commitment to the development of the place of their origin. This year's convention becomes even more special since it focuses on a theme we all hold close to our hearts, namely empowerment of differently abled persons, or Divyang, as our Honorable Prime Minister says, to empower them in the society. The venue of Magic Planet, there could not have been a better choice for the venue of this convocation. The different art center envisaged by noted magician and UNICEF celebrity supporter Shri Gopinath Muthukar has been wielding the magic wand of encouragement and empowerment on our dear children in need of support. Gopinathji, when he was speaking, he mentioned about my 3 earlier visits. Sir, I am thankful to you for inviting me. Coming, and I was look forward to the opportunity when I can visit this place again. You are such a source of inspiration. The sense of compassion that you have, the way you care for these people, not only care, but the real thing is, just now I came to know that a child whose mother's greatest ambition was that he could just say once, Amma. Today he is rendering such beautiful songs. The way you are training them, you are developing their skills. Your contribution, what you are doing, is beyond description. It is not possible. It is not possible. And if I may depart from the written text, and I want to depart from the written, prepared speech, we have a story in an Upanishad where a question was raised: what is the essence of good life? Before the reply came, there was a thunder. There were clouds in the sky, and as they sound, Da, da, da. The Rishi responded, have you got the reply? They said, you have not replied so far. He said, but the reply has come. The essence of good life consists in 3 das. Da, da, da. And then he explained, first da means dam. If I recall correctly, there are 2 lines. Dharmasya vidhayo neko. ये वह प्रोक्ता ब्रह्म ऋषि महर्षि भी स्वम स्वम विज्ञानम आश्रिते दमस तेषाम परायणम. The religion has been described, and religion here, dharma, does not mean going to the temple or mosque or church or any other place of worship. Dharma means the rules of righteous conduct. They have been described variously. Somebody says this, somebody says this. But among all these discussions and discourses, the highest dharma is Dhamma. Dham means one who has control over his senses, her senses. One who controls one's desires. One who exercises self-control, self-restraint. So this Rishi says that the first da, the message has come. It's like Akashvani. First da is restrain, controlling your own senses, your own self. And be bound by moral and ethical standards. Second is dan. Dan means you are blessed with so many endowments which so many others lack. And the Indian concept is that anything and everything beyond your needs, and you possess that, you are only a trustee of that. You are not owner of that. A beautiful verse from Holy Quran comes to my mind. وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ مَاذَا يُنْفِقُونَ. They ask you what to spend. Qulil afwa. Say anything and everything which is beyond your personal requirements. And if I start referring to quotes from Bible, then spending on the poor, spending in charity, spending on needy, the whole time can be taken by that only. So, dan is when you share the blessing, something which you are blessed with others. That is dan. That is the second principle. And third is daya. Third da is daya. Daya is here, dan is sharing the blessing which you have. And daya is sharing the pain and suffering of the other with you. That is what daya is. Sir, you are an extreme example. You share, you have that sense of daya. I can go on speaking on that. But today I should It's my duty to speak more about Fokana. Your contribution, you are in USA, you are in Canada, but you have this great feeling that you are basically daughters and sons of India, daughters and sons of Kerala. And I am so happy that you have not forgotten that. You are living in an advanced, developed country. But India and Kerala does not disappear from your mind. And I can cite so many things where you have contributed significantly for the development of our state, our country. But more than that, apart from this physical and material development, I am going to devote few minutes that you have a much bigger role than that. You are living in a country, or these two countries, which are today the center of the world. The United Nations is located in USA. People from all over the world, they come there. So if we look at you, each one of you, as ambassadors of India's civilizational and cultural heritage. Today, the USA and Canada, or even the countries from which these people came from, the Europe, about 150 years back, they were not living lives, or their way of life was totally different. World over, the civilizations were defined either by race, by language, and particularly in the medieval period, these civilizations came to be defined mostly by the religious faith. On the other hand, you as an ambassador, I feel we as a people, as Indians, we miserably failed in taking that message of Indian civilization and culture. Possibly if we had done that job earlier, then the world would not have faced the wars which came to be known as world wars. Because the basis on which the cultures were defined, that was exclusive. Exclusive means that if you belong to a particular race, you were part of that civilization and culture. If you were a speaker of a particular language, you were part of that culture and civilization. Or if you practiced a faith, particular faith, then only you were part of that unity. On the other hand, Indian civilization, and that is why I say that we miserably failed. And miserably failed not only to convey the message, but we also stopped practicing. We also stopped being true to our own heritage. Indian civilization is the only civilization in the world which was not defined either by race or by language or by religious faith. The Indian civilization and culture was defined by Atma, spirit, soul. Instead of saying that because the color of our skin is the same, therefore we are one. We speak the same language, therefore we are one. We practice the same faith, believe in the same God, and our mode of worship is same, therefore we are one brotherhood. Instead of saying that, what India said, Bharateshu Striya Purusho Nana Varna Pirkirtite Nana De Varchane Yukta Nana Karmani Kurvate. The people of India, women and men, they belong to different, you can translate it either way. They belong to different races, or the colors of their skins are different. They speak different languages. They worship different gods. Their customs and rituals are different. Yet we are one. Why we are one? Because Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. Because the same God dwells in me who dwells in you. Therefore we are one. Nobody in the world can be excluded if this definition is applied. Today, the world over, diversity and pluralism has been accepted. It has been accepted. You are living in great pluralistic societies. America and Canada, there is absolutely no doubt. But their pluralism and diversity, they embraced out of necessity, out of their experience. When they became, Europe became democracy, and there was a clash between the church and the state, and the democratic system grew, then they had no option but to go for acceptance of pluralism and diversity. India started its civilizational journey with not only acceptance but respect for diversity. Ekam sad vipra bahuda vadanti. The truth is one, and those who have some idea of it, because Indian thought says that you can never understand the comprehensiveness of the supreme truth. In fact, in our Jain tradition, there is a theory which is called Andha Gajanne theory. Andha means blind. Gajanne means elephant. They say that, and possibly on 1st of March, and that theory is known as Anekantvad. And possibly on 1st of March in Indira Gandhi National Open University, I am going to speak on this subject only. So, because Indian tradition has been that it is not only Indian tradition, even if we study Quran, we study Bible, we study, every tradition says that God is beyond comprehension, beyond articulation, beyond human understanding. The word of God is there, but the mind to understand is not divine, mind is human. That is why we make different interpretations of the same text. So basically the point that I am making is that I have every right, freedom of choice. Pirkirti yanti bhutani. Each one does according to the nature on which one is born. Quran also says, Qul kullun ya'malu ala shakilatihi. Each one does according to the disposition on which one is born. Here we are meeting here at Magic Planet. And you must have seen all these children who are born, they have differently abled since birth. Are you going to pick up a fight with one of them because he has been born or he is differently abled? No, you sympathize with such person. If somebody in matters of religion, if somebody thinks differently from you, you have every right to feel that you are right. But the other person also, whatever he is doing, he is actuated by the disposition, by the nature on which he is born. What right I have to condemn him? What right I have to denounce him? I must have, if I am so convinced that I am the only one who is right, then I should have sympathy with the other person. I should be able to present an example, because never forget, in this world, people imitate those who are successful. Already? I have been warned that I have already taken my time, therefore I am going to conclude. Therefore, basically my point was, I won't go into now details. My point is that we have adopted, when we say that we respect, we accept, we respect, we cherish diversity, then this is not born out of necessity. This was the result of the tapasya of our rishis, who realized that the law of nature is diversity. And if we had really been truthful to our heritage, then the world who is living, who is adopting, embracing these ideas, they would have given credit to us. Credit is not important. What is important is that we be true to our own heritage. It should be reflected in our conduct. And in such advanced societies and as USA and Canada, you are our ambassadors. You must carry that message. Swami Vivekananda had said that the whole humanity, we are all interconnected. This is what Indian heritage tells us, our tradition tells us. We are all interconnected. We have to learn from them so many things. They have made tremendous advance in science, technology, many areas. We should be ready to. Ano bhadra kirtavo yantu vishvata. Let noble thoughts come to us from all sides, and we should embrace them. But he had told us that we also have something which we can share with the rest of the world, and never forget that all religious traditions, they all have originated in the East. All religious traditions, Europe, America, Canada, they are all, whatever religion they are subscribing to, they all have originated in the East. Right from Jerusalem to India, in between is Arabian Peninsula, all religions have originated from here. So, and when I say religion, not just our concept of dharma is not, it's only a part. How you, these are mode of approaches, unfortunately, which today have come to be, when we mention religion or dharma, then as if we are referring to a particular mode of approaching the supreme, the eternal. No, it is much more than that. It is an attitude of life. It's a way of life, how we live. And for that, our tradition has used 3 words, and with that I shall conclude. Number 1 is Shraddha. Number 2 is Sanyam. And number 3 is Samarpan. These are the, Shraddha means devotion, sincerity, whatever you take up in your hand. With sincerity, transparent sincerity should be there. Sanyam. Whatever you are doing, it should never be done with the sole purpose of benefiting you and your family alone. No. Everybody, haqqul lissaili wal mahrum. Who is the righteous? The righteous is one who recognizes the right of the poor and needy in his wealth. It's not a question of charity. Anybody who is less endowed than you has a right in what you possess. Recognize that right. This is what our tradition tells us. And third is samarpan, submission to the. I have no right to complain again. If I fail in some of my plans, and I have made all preparations, readied myself for it, yet I fail. Then it means my plan was not in accordance with the greater plan of the greatest. Then I need to reconsider, revisit, and rethink about it and bring it in accordance with the plan of the nature. I am so thankful to you for giving me this patient hearing. Thank you very much. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Jai Hind.